遭辩论方拉长间隔为12英尺时，美国公共广播电视 PBS 评论，这场副总统电视辩论会已足具历史地位。尽管许多公卫专家批评，这阻挡不了空气传播的病毒。
The Trump campaign, which has often ignored CDC social distancing guidelines, initially pushed back on the plexiglass, but the Biden campaign succeeded in getting them added.
Please welcome California Senator Kamala Harris and Vice President Mike Pence.
55岁的贺锦丽，美国史上首位女性亚非裔副总统候选人，对上律师与20年共和党籍政界经历的57岁潘斯，两方结善辩论，言辞犀利的能手。
I'm not going to answer the question because the question this is so unprecedented.
在首场川败辩论沦为言语互殴，各方抨击之下，担任主持的美国日报资深政治记者苏珊佩吉，她40年华府采访经验显得格外严谨而冷静。
You will then have 2 minutes to answer without interruption by me or the other candidate.
When you talk about accepting the outcome of the election, I must tell you, Senator, your party has spent the last 3.5 years trying to overturn the results of the last election. It's amazing.
对于这场总统大选的最大悬念，川普政府究竟是否愿意和平转移政权？在辩论最终问时，对此潘斯没有正面回答，却掀起一场言辞的剧烈攻讦。潘斯一方面指责情报机构 FBI 和 CIA， 甚至义愤填膺地指出一个连国家情报总监自己都承认尚未证实的证据；另一方面，潘斯再次宣称，这回邮寄投票也沦为不法诈欺。潘斯强调，川普与他势必全力赢得选举。
There were documents released this week that the CIA actually made a referral to the FBI documenting that those allegations were coming from the Hillary Clinton campaign. And of course, we've all seen the avalanche, what you put the country through for the better part of 3 years until it was found that there was no obstruction, no collusion, case closed. So let me just say, I think we're going to win this election. President Trump and I are fighting every day in courthouses to prevent Joe Biden and Kamala Harris from changing the rules and creating this universal mail-in voting that will create a massive opportunity for voter fraud. And we have a free and fair election. We know we're going to have confidence in it. And I believe in all my heart that President Donald Trump's going to be reelected for 4 more years.
And here's what I'd like to say to everybody. Vote. Please vote. Vote early. Come up with a plan to vote. We have it within our power in these next 27 days to make the decision about what will be the course of our country for the next 4 years. And it is within our power, and if we use our vote and we use our voice.
2天后，前 CIA 与国家安全局局长海登表态，力挺拜登。
Truth is really important, but especially in intelligence. President Trump doesn't care about facts. President Trump doesn't care about the truth. He doesn't listen to his experts.
不过，美国大选的10月惊奇，一般认为最有可能仍是新冠疫情。此时的美国疫情不减反增，10月第1周平均每日新增确诊超过4.5万人，比2周前再增9%。这让贺锦丽不断将主轴拉回疫情，使得两造激烈攻击对方。根据 CNN 同步对关键摇摆州亚利桑那州尚未决定投票动向的现场选民调查，对新冠的处置是贺锦丽亦或是民主党最受认同的议题。
The greatest failure of any presidential administration in the history of our country. I want to ask the American people, how calm were you when you were panicked about where you're going to get your next roll of toilet paper? How calm were you when your kids were sent home from school and you didn't know when they could go back?
Vice President Pence, the head of the White House Coronavirus Task Force, defended the decision to not create a federally coordinated response.
The difference here is President Trump and I trust the American people to make choices in the best interest of their health. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris consistently talk about mandates. We're about freedom and respecting the freedom of the American people.
Whatever the vice president is claiming the administration has done, clearly it hasn't worked. And then when that was exposed, the vice president said, when asked, well, why didn't y'all tell anybody? He said, because the president wanted people to remain calm.
Well, let's get
no, but Susan, this is important.
Susan,
I want to add, but Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
I'm speaking. When you say what the American people have done over these last 8 months hasn't worked, that's a great disservice to the sacrifices the American people have made. The reality, if I may finish, Senator.
If the Trump administration approves a vaccine before or after the election, should Americans take it, and would you take it?
If Dr. Fauci, if the doctors tell us that we should take it, I'll be the first in line to take it. Absolutely. But if Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, I'm not taking it.
Stop playing politics with people's lives. The reality is that we will have a vaccine, we believe, before the end of this year.
比起上周川拜辩论的荒腔走板，外交政策旗杆盛赞。两位副总统候选人都想在对中政策上得分，两人在外交政策上的激辩，让美国在全球角色的讨论终于回归选战。
How would you describe our fundamental relationship with China? Are we competitors, adversaries, enemies?
Susan, the Trump administration's perspective and approach to China has resulted in the loss of American lives, American jobs, the trade deal, the trade war, they wanted to call it, with China. It resulted in the loss of over 300 manufacturing jobs and a manufacturing recession.
轮潘斯回答时，加拿大环球邮报记者说，中国此时切断了 CNN 的直播讯号。
China is to blame for the coronavirus. And President Trump is not happy about it. President Trump, in dealing with China from the outset of this administration, standing up to China that had been taking advantage of America for decades in the wake of Joe Biden's cheerleading for China.
Leaders of all of our formerly allied countries have now decided that they hold in greater esteem and respect Xi Jinping, the head of the Chinese Communist Party, than they do Donald Trump, the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief of the United States. This is where we are today because of a failure of leadership by this administration.
各方舆论对辩论会褒贬皆有。纽约时报资深专栏作家布鲁尼给予较负面的评价。布鲁尼直言，潘斯没有热血，如同冰雕，而贺锦丽有时又太照本宣科。双方多次技术性闪避，又对自家老板多次吹捧。
There's the issue of choice, and I will always fight for a woman's right to make a decision about her own body.
I couldn't be more proud to serve as vice president to a president who stands without apology for the sanctity of human life. I'm pro-life. I don't apologize for it.
Let's talk about packing.
You once again gave a non-answer. Joe Biden gave a non-answer.
Trying to answer you now.
The American people deserve a straight answer. And if you haven't figured it out yet, the straight answer is they are going to pack the Supreme Court if they somehow win this election.
结果，一只苍蝇飞到潘斯头上停留的意外，反倒抢尽风采，成为脱口秀和社群最热情议论的焦点。
God, look at his hair! The real winner from last night is the fly.
Mike Pence's fly just became the most popular Halloween costume of 2020.
The Biden campaign sold 35,000 fly swatters with the words "Truth over flies," a riff on their slogan "Truth over lies." That fly
stand with you.
Raised $350,000 before the swatters sold out.
辩论会后的 CNN 即时民调，对于谁赢了这场辩论，民主党贺锦丽以59%领先，而选民于辩论后对贺锦丽的好感度也上升到63%。但对于一旦需要是否具资格接替总统职，两人的支持率都破60%，不相上下。
Our country needs a president who believes in America.
America, we are better than this.
同样出色的两名副手，美国舆论认为两人很有可能于2024年再战，只是一切仍诡谲多变，胜负难定。